Hi everybody, it's your buddy Brad here, and today we are going to take a look at a new feature in JWildfire 3.30. It is called the Mirror Translations button. Over on the JWildfire forum, Rick Sidwell posted a tutorial on how to use it along with a DC Perlin and a final using Looney. If you look at our list of changes for it, you will notice it is experimental, that this function may change. Sometimes even experimental things might get removed later on, which um, hopefully I actually think it's kind of cool, so I hope it doesn't get removed, but things could change in future versions. You really need to just pay attention to this line here. The toggle button to the Affine tab. The toggle applies to all three planes. When toggled on, if viewing a pre-affine and then changing the translation from 0,1 or 0,2 coefficients, which are basically coefficients are the locations that make up the triangles. And so it's saying that the pre-affine is mirrored by reversing the translation setting of the post-affine -1 and -2. So it's basically saying if something is +1 and 2 on the pre, it'll be -1 and 2 on the post. So we're going to take a look real quick at Rick Sidwell's example. Here I just have a DC Perlin and a Looney. So I'm on a regular transform. On the Looney, if I just drag the triangle around, you see the Perlin is moving, but the Looney is not. If we reset, if we click on Post, excuse me, we have it that everything moves. Both the Perlin and the Looney are moving both at the same time. And then I'm going to reset. Now, here's the button we're talking about. It's the Mirror Translations button. So if we click on that, it activates it. So we're going to move the Perlin, move the Looney. We're moving it to the right. Here I am still under post transform. Moving it up to the right. Up to the left here. And if we go over too much, then we lose it. But you can see the Looney up here in the top left corner. And that is also where I have the triangle. Now if I click off the post transform button, you'll see that the triangle is down here in the lower right hand corner. So now if we move this triangle on pre up, as I'm moving it up, you see the Looney is moving down. And if we click on Post Transform, you see our triangle here. Hopefully you can see it. It's kind of yellow on the probably maybe a different gradient. You might be able to see it better. So our triangles here are triangles down here. Increase the frequency, get a little bit more lines in there. So what it is saying is anything I move here will be reversed as pre on the other side, and vice versa. That is only on if I move it. I am not rotating the triangle. If I rotate it, okay, in this aspect, it rotated the purlin, but it didn't rotate the loonie, which is something I hadn't tried until just now. So, surprise for both of us. What happens if I rotate on the post transform? It's moving everything in a just a different way. So I'm just going to reset both of those. Also, kind of an interesting trick. Now I'm going to go back and reset that. I'm going to turn off the mirror. I'm going to move it up here. Now if I click on the mirroring tab, I'm just going to move the triangle just a tint. Now watch what happens here. It reset everything like we had it before, because now we have the pre here and the post up here. Also in the list of changes, reason that Greg helped added this was mostly for his two new variations called inversion and one is Klein group. But he also talks about that one example that can be used is spherical. So I'm going to reset everything. Do a screenshot. Let me get a different gradient here. And we are going to replace the loonie with spherical. So right now it's just the regular spherical. I'm going to have it on pre. I'm going to turn off mirror so you can see what it does. I don't know if you can see that or not. So with pre, it's moving like this. Reset. On post, it's moving the image as a whole. If I click on and reset. Click on the mirror. Now you see I'm still on post, but we're kind of getting the same effect as the pre, but it's actually also being mirrored. So we're also going to take a look at one of the new variations called Klein group, which is based on Kleinian formulas. You can make a lot of cool shapes with it. Mostly, like here, it's just like a base shape for the Kleinian. It comes with pre-built recipes of 6 recipes. For this example, I'm going to choose recipe 4, and basically these are just different ways that they are made. Basically, inside the Klein group variation, it is made up of 3 Mobiuses. So it's how those 3 Mobiuses interact is what the recipes are, and how I believe recipe 0. No, amen. Yes, I'm sorry. Recipe 0 uses all 4. Recipes 1, 2, and 3 only use the top 2. Then 4, 5, and 6 use all 4. I could be wrong there, but like I said, for this example, I'm going to use recipe 4. Now I found out that you can add a post mirror on X. Go to -1, and then we also have, this is also a base Kleinian spherical type of shape, but you can you can tweak it and change the shape, unlike a spherical setup like this. Sometimes things don't go quite the way you want it. Anyway, I'm going to click on the pre. So right now we just have this one variation. And I am on the pre-transform, and I'm just going to move the triangle, and we get a big old bold mess of things here. I mean, even if you move it just a bit, things can get out of hand quite fast. Same thing on post. You see, I'm barely just moving the triangles around, and you could get something by doing exact calculations. I just went up 0.5 and to the right 0.5. Or also, if you click on the mirror translations button, now you see we are moving the whole thing. If you move it down, it moves down. If you move it up, it moves up. And then vice versa with the pre. If you move it up, it goes, if you move the triangle down, it moves up. If you move the triangle up, the image goes down. If you move it left, it goes right, and vice versa. But then I also found another trick that is a good example here. I'm going to turn off the mirror translation. I want to be on pre, and I'm going to rotate the triangle 2 times. And I want to make sure that I am on, this on 1, and that on 2. So at first we get kind of a mess, but if we move down a little bit, let's see, I don't know, looks like I'm going down about, let's see, that would be 0. I'm going down, looking here at about 0.89. And you see we get the separation, and when we do, you can also get a basic dragon shape. If you move just right, you see our dragons that are used in like the Mobius Dragon script that is built into the program if you've ever tried it. Basically it's this same shape here. Now where was I? So we're back here. And well, I hope you're able to see this okay. Now the way what's interesting is if you turn off the mirror translations button, now you see I am on pre, I'm moving left, and this bottom part is moving to the left. If I move right, the bottom part is moving to the right. Now if I click on the post is moving to the right, now to the left. But if we have the mirror translation button on, not only does it center it in the center, it actually centers it in the center of the screen. So I am on post. I'm going to move the triangle to the right, and look what happens. I'm moving the top to the right, but the bottom is going to the left, and vice versa. Moving the top to the left, the bottom is moving to the right. And I think this is one of the ideas that Greg talked about in the change notes. And then I did another try here. Here I still have the Kleinian. Set to 1, 2, recipe 4. I'm using a post mirror. Then I have some blur circles and a log tile just to stretch it out. So now, if you go to the Kleinian, I'm on post, mirror translation button checked. And you see everything stays in pretty good shape here. Let me zoom out a little bit. Everything stays pretty nice, neat, and organized. If we reset, I'm going to turn off the mirror translations. And you see it gets a little messy. I'm going to reset, same thing. But if you just click that mirror translations button, I'm not going to even reset. I'm just going to click it. And now everything is staying nice, neat, and fairly pretty. I know this is an extra byte, but I want you to see what I'm doing. And again, let's go to post. Where's my triangle? Here's my triangle. So I'm going to move it to the right. The middle part is moving to the right, and then vice versa. On I'm moving it to the left, but everything's rotating to the right. And vice versa again. So hopefully I've given you a few things to think about. So we know sphericals work good with it. Linear type variations work good with it. And also Mobius, MobiQ, are also some other ones that should work with this new translations button. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And until next time, bye.